Coming up on City Spotlight, we hit the midway point of Season 10, and we're talking Charleston for the second time in this season. First, we sit down with Charleston City Manager Scott Smith and Charleston Deputy City Manager Steve Pamperin on Public Works, the impact of the Linder Sports Complex, and new economic development along Lincoln Avenue. Then, we talk for the first time on the Charleston Carnegie Public Library with Library Director Chris Houchens on the history of the Charleston Carnegie Public Library and the variety of programs the library offers to the residents of Charleston. We're talking Charleston for the second time in Season 10, here on City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com. And hello and welcome to another edition of City Spotlight. As you can see, we're on location once again here in Season 10, and we're back in the City Hall offices of the City of Charleston. Another City Spotlight episode featuring Charleston. Our second time here in Season 10, our first time taping was with Dr. Jay Gatrell, as he's sworn in as the new EIU president. So glad to be back taping again in Charleston here in Season 10. And we welcome two familiar faces to the program. Scott Smith, Charleston City Manager. Scott, great to see you.
Great to see you too.
And Steve Pamperin with a new title, Charleston Deputy City Manager and City Planner. Steve, great to have you on again.
Thanks for having us, for me. Yeah.
Great to have, again, two familiar faces here with the City of Charleston. And Steve, let's talk about that new title and what does a Deputy City Manager do?
So about a year ago, City of Charleston started the Deputy City Manager program. And really what the Deputy City Manager does is to assist, to support, and really work side by side with the City Manager in the day-to-day operations of the city. So in a nutshell, that's what the Deputy City Manager does. Okay.
You also have the title of City Planner,
yep.
So it's just an adjacent title, and is there any extra work involving the City Planner part?
Yeah, so for the time being, continuing the role of City Planner. Hopefully down the road, we'll be looking to find somebody to fill that role if that time comes available. But so kind of wearing two hats right now in that role. And last year when we started this, the first part of that was to really for that person to get familiar with the different departments, the day-to-day operation. So I had a lot of time in the Public Works Department with the Parks and Rec and our Information Technologies, along with the Building Department. So it was just natural to keep that City Planner title for a while. So,
obviously, you guys have both worked together on numerous projects here in the City of Charleston. Why was this? How is this an additive to the City of Charleston with Steve's new title?
Well, we've been talking for quite a while about making sure that we have good transition plans in place for our key division director positions, so that a lot of us came in around the same time, and so we wanted to make sure that we had what I call a soft or a smooth landing for those individuals that might or could be in a position to move up. And I felt it very, very important, given our track record in my position in particular many years ago, where we went through a number of managers, that one of my goals in working with our consultant and our retreat presenter, who's a former manager, and our consultant who's been a previous manager, and working with our team, that I thought it best to try to come up with a program that would give us the opportunity to train our own. And so spend somewhere between, say, 16 and 20 months to where those candidates would have an opportunity, as Steve indicated, to work over different departments of the city. And you can't just throw them into that and say, okay, well, you're going to work all the departments at once. I felt that in Steve's case, he started over on the public works side.
Right.
Well, he was helping oversee that project at Linder Sports Complex anyway, so he had a chance to continue to pursue that and work with our park staff and with our public works department, but then also spend more time with Diane in the Parks and Rec, with Todd on IT, and then still continuing to manage, his own area, but also work more with me on other projects.
Right.
And now he's flipped over to the other side, and he's over finance and HR and helping with clerical and the water department. And so now he's on the other side of the office, still wearing the city planner hat.
Right.
And not that he's not engaged with Public Works and Parks, but now his focus is to spend more time learning more about that side of the office. With the idea being at the end of this, then he would be hopefully in a position where he would be a leading candidate to fill my shoes when I decide to retire.
All right. I love coming on, talking with folks such as yourself, catch up on things going on in the local communities, public works, economic development, and gosh knows there's enough economic development to talk about. But let's go a little bit further back to the Linder Sports Complex that you just mentioned. That opened up last year, and boy, did it get a lot of use in its opening season.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. We opened in August, had our first tournaments in August, and had just so many people out at the sports complex, had a lot of great reviews about it. Had the Charleston Red and Gold boys varsity tournament out there for our first tournament. I was joking with Diane. I think she said that she had over 500 different events scheduled out there last fall.
Wow.
Practices, tournaments, and just uses of the entire field and the entire complex. So it has already been very heavily used, and getting into the spring, I understand that our soccer signups, for new teams
Right.
and new leagues, has really skyrocketed. So we've been very, very fortunate out there, and really it was a great collaboration between all the departments in the city: Public Works, Parks and Rec, the building department. Everybody had a hand in that. It's been a great success story for the city.
I've been out there for a handful of things, and it is amazing when you see a project, just the ground, and then it gets built over time. It is an amazing amount of space. The Linder Sports Complex, if you're just now tuning into a Charleston episode, it's located southern part of Charleston, south of Sister City Park, 18th Street, or Illinois Route 130. And Steve, I know we worked on some projects back in the day, which seems like it's been 7-8 years. We worked on that Lake Trails video, and again, another addition to the southern part of Charleston with that outdoor component.
Yeah, and that's the one thing we've really been focusing a lot of effort, a lot of attention on, is to offer more outdoor amenities, to the community, to the citizens of Charleston. Started with the lake and all the improvements we did out there, and that's still very heavily used every weekend. And we were able to get the Linder Sports Complex done thanks to some local charitable foundations. Very grateful for those folks. But the work we were able to do in-house and provide a really, really good product, and everyone seems very happy. And we want to continue that momentum and keep going with more projects and different things out there at those facilities.
Before we dive into economic development, Scott, I just want to get a comment from you as a lifelong Charlestonian, whatever the correct terminology is of us that are from Charleston, to see the soccer venues are starting to pop up a little bit everywhere, Rantoul, Mattoon, and Charleston deciding to go that route.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I know that when I took over as Parks and Recreation Director, that our youth soccer program has been utilizing facilities owned by others, whether that be the school district fields or vacant property areas at the school district, the churches. A lot of their programs have been run up here on the backside of Houchens, and we certainly appreciate Houchens' willingness to support our youth soccer program over the years. They became an official affiliate of ours several years ago, and so one of the things that I really wanted to see, much like with girls softball and boys baseball and everything else, was an opportunity to bring them under one location, to be able to have a concession space, adequate bathroom facilities, and to be able to host tournaments. And so I'm really proud of the work that our team did to put that project together. And Steve worked very closely with some folks next door over at Consolidated Services with Mike Sullivan and our public works staff to generate the designs and come up with the plans and the options for us to consider. And of course, thank the church for their collaboration with us. As Steve mentioned, Charleston Charitable, it's just a wonderful location. And while I get the idea centered around soccer, that's just one component of it. There's a lot of other things that site's being used for. And Steve mentioned that we kind of got this kickoff with a walk, run for the fallen, and that was a big deal out there. They're coming back, I believe. And so the trails, just the open space, the ability to come out and have a picnic, and there's just a lot to do. They're all right there together. And we had some people that came in from out of town for some of those soccer tournaments that were able to take the trails down to the lake, maybe in between games. So there's activities there for parents and family members in between games, and so that's what we're trying to offer is that space. And then Also, we believe that's a real economic driver for us. Is outdoor tourism's big. We know that from our experiences with the lake. We know that from some data we got from Placer AI just on the uses of that site this fall. And it's also very attractive to the students. They love to be able to get over there and bike and walk and exercise and that type of thing. So we feel like that's an attractive facility that Eastern can use to help recruit.
Your public works crews are always out and about. Of course, I live here in Charleston, so I see them all out and about. Any notable public works projects that you guys are working on here in 2024?
So the big one's going to be Douglas.
Okay.
And we're getting ready to do a major construction project that'll kind of kick off in June, I believe. Okay. We just approved some of those project elements last night and Kurt's been working on right-of-way acquisition down there. So this first phase of it is a two-phase, I believe, project. The first phase is going to be Hayes to Reeser Park. Okay. And so it's going to be all new sidewalk. The road's going to be improved. It's a pretty serious major undertaking. That'll start this summer. There'll be some inconveniences, obviously, because the road will have to be one way during construction.
Yeah, if you live on the street.
Yeah,
right.
if you live on the street. But the benefits long term will be a significant improvement to Douglas. And then phase 2 will be that curve there where you wrap around and come up into Coolidge that we'll do in phase 2. But that's going to be the big project for Public Works. Now, our crews internally will be out doing the typical sidewalk, patch repair, utility work.
I've seen in abundance, just little spots, which add up.
You've seen our crews out. We've had a pretty mild winter, so they've continued to be able to get a lot of concrete work done this winter. So that's been great.
All right, very good. I have a short amount of time left with you guys, so let's kind of fire away at the economic development because it's extremely noticeable in the city of Charleston. We talked about it the last time we had you on, Scott. And let's start from west east on Lincoln Avenue and the former El Rancherito building, Mexicology.
I'm going to let Steve take that.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, let's go down the road.
And we'll go quickly, but the one thing I do want to note is, last year was one of our biggest construction permit years that the city of Charleston has seen probably since 2008. It's been a remarkable year for new permits, new construction, going down the road. And I apologize, I may forget some of this. You guys,
we're not trying to miss anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
But yes, Mexicology went into El Rancherito. Kirscher Building Center is doing their office headquarters right there on Lincoln Avenue as you're going east. Obviously, everything going on at Lambeau's and the New Jersey Mike's
and that just
car
opened.
Wash that just opened.
We're taping here on February 7th. That was like a week ago.
Yeah, they just opened, and the Jersey Mike's is already packed. And as you're going down the road, Sonic has broken ground, so they're getting across the street there from Lambeau's.
And if I can interrupt you on that one, that one is one that's been talked about, water cooler talk, for many years in the city of Charleston.
20.
I remember eating there. I think was it only open 1 year?
Probably. I think maybe a year.
I think I had my 19th birthday there, and that was it.
Yeah, and we're really fortunate because that building, the old building there was vacant for over 26 years, I think we determined, and to get some life there, some redevelopment on that.
So a Sonic is coming.
Sonic will be,
and that's a name.
Yeah, and that's a well-known name that people can get to. So we do have Hux. They have a sign out there that says "Coming Soon" at 10th and Lincoln.
So what does coming soon mean?
Well, we're hoping the plan is maybe sometime this spring or summer we'll see plans and they'll get started. But they have the sign up, so it's okay.
And it's a big lot of land.
It's a big piece of property it'd be a nice convenience store there. And then again, as we're heading down, we do have obviously Parachute Plasma that's open down by Walmart.
Yes.
So.
And then the last one I had on my list, up in our neck of the woods, I understand there's a new Mexican restaurant on the square.
Yes.
Yep, on the square.
Nice little touch there.
Yep, we have Juanitos on the square. Heard nothing but great reviews and feedback from that. So hopefully everybody gets a chance to go visit them as well. So.
Take a deep breath.
I know, right?
It's a lot going on in the city of Charleston, and I know behind the scenes you guys are the ones doing all the work, and it takes a lot of work to get these projects going, but you see all that's going on. It shows that Charleston's moving forward.
Yeah, I'll tell you, we've been incredibly busy, and Steve and Alex and the guys over there on the building and the development team have just been doing a phenomenal job working with our developers and the folks that want to invest in our community. And I believe there's more out there. We know that. Some of those things we can't talk about, but it is a very exciting time for us. There's a buzz. There's definitely a real good vibe about all things that are going on in Lincoln. And then what that does is that also maybe puts a little bit of a fire under some other folks that maybe have businesses on Lincoln that maybe want to spruce it up, throw a little coat of paint on, put some new windows and doors in.
Want to be a part of these good vibes.
That's exactly right. So all this development is really, really a good thing for Charleston. And we've even got some folks that own some properties along Lincoln seem as though they're maybe a little bit more interested in trying to move their property now. So that's good. It's great for the community.
Steve Pamperin, Scott Smith, gentlemen, thank you so much for the update on the city of Charleston.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We enjoy it every time we're here.
Yep.
Same as well. Coming up next here on City Spotlight, we're not going to go too far. We're going to go talk about the Charleston Carnegie Public Library. But first, let's take a look at some of the upcoming activities going on in Charleston. And we're back here on City Spotlight, this new on-location episode on Charleston. As you can see, we've changed locations from City Hall, and we are now at the Charleston Carnegie Public Library for the first time here on City Spotlight. Very excited to be here. This is my hometown library, so it's great to tape here for the first time on City Spotlight at the Charleston Library. To help us out, we welcome first time to the program, the director of the Charleston Carnegie Public Library, Chris Houchens. Chris, great to have you on.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Again, great to be here at the Charleston Carnegie Public Library for the first time here on City Spotlight, and look forward to learning about the library that is about 120 or so years old.
Yeah.
And before we talk about what programs are offered here at the library in Charleston, Chris, you're a first-time guest. Tell us about yourself.
So I've been the director here for closing in on 7 years. Anniversary coming up here next month.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But I've been here for 7. I have a master's degree in library and information science from U of I, but originally my degrees are from Eastern. So that's what had me here in Charleston, and I actually worked here as a clerk when I was an Eastern student. So now I'm back as director.
And so you said coming up on 7 years. Again, congratulations on that. What do you enjoy about being, I guess, a librarian?
Working with people. I mean, we're a community hub. We're here for our community in a variety of ways, and getting to interact with people and build those relationships, that's the best part of the job.
And what attracted you to coming to Charleston to pursue this next phase of your career?
A couple things. One, I was familiar with Charleston. I knew the library, having worked here already. I knew the staff that had been here, and I feel really grateful for the staff that I have, because as the position opened up, they kind of reached out to me and said, hey, our director position is open. You should maybe apply. And I did, and I haven't looked back since. I'm so glad to be here.
All right, very good. We're taping again here February 7th, so still the early part of 2024 here in Charleston. And let's start, since this is our first time talking about the Charleston Carnegie Public Library, let's learn a little bit about the library. It's about 120 years old, and most importantly, in the name, it's a Carnegie library.
It's a Carnegie, that's right. Founded in 1904, a $10,000 donation from Andrew Carnegie started this library. They had an expansion in 61, an expansion in 67, and then our main building that we're in now was 2009 it opened, took us from 9,000 square feet to 29,000 square feet.
Yes, I do remember that, having grown up in Charleston, that this is the new children's wing that we are taping in here with Chris. Obviously, I remember growing up with the old wing,
yeah.
So this expansion, wow, what a change for that. Is that where you want to go next with this? Is the evolution of the physical transformation of this library was pretty substantial?
Oh, it was huge. I mean, be able to see, just as like I said, I was a clerk, so I was actually one of the people moving the books from the old building to the new building and helping get this ready. But to be able to see that space, be able to see us grow, to be able to offer new programs, to be able to offer meeting rooms, to really be able to offer this community a library of this caliber. A lot of that does come to having a facility that matches being able to offer everything that we can. In a limited space, there's only so much you can do, so this allows us to do so much more.
Any evolution of a physical space is, I guess, necessary, And for folks at home that are maybe natives of Charleston that remember the original spacing of the Charleston Carnegie Public Library, what were the challenges of that, or was it a very necessary move to again be able to expand and offer what you offer now?
Looking back at it, obviously I wasn't director at the time, but understanding now as the director 7 years in, the kind of time it takes to plan everything, to figure everything out, of how to store everything, of you want to offer this new program or a new service, but where are you going to do it? How are you going to house it? Being able to expand to that really opened up a lot of different avenues for this library to expand the collection, expand programming, expand services, and offer things that they wouldn't have been able to do in the past. I mean, we have dedicated computers for kids, for teens, for adults. We have meeting rooms that get used. I always say we host everything from book clubs to baby showers to blood drives. And we've had all of them. We have a little bit of everything. And so that's one of the great benefits of being able to expand, is when they were thinking about that, of having a large meeting room. So we could have a large blood drive or a baby shower, or we almost had a wedding here once, but they changed their mind right at the last minute.
Oh, wow.
I was a little sad by that. I wanted to say we hosted a wedding.
I don't think weddings are probably a common thing that are hosted.
No, that's why I wanted to have that little feather in the cap, but I still mention it, though.
It's a great story. The previous... before the major renovations, you said 2009 was
when this building opened. Yeah.
Okay, so the version that I remember growing up as a kid, it was just all along pretty much 6th Street, and now everything that we see, we're taping in this new wing and the gigantic parking lot bows to the west toward 4th Street.
Yes.
Talk about the newer sections of the library if someone has never been here to this Charleston Library.
So that's one of the things. We hear it all the time from people that come into the library for the first time, is that, wow, this building's beautiful. This building is huge. And even if someone's walking around, it's a little bit of a labyrinth at times, because we are across 4 different floors. Being able to walk in and have a large lobby and have a large circulation desk, large meeting rooms right in the lobby, but being able to then have seating, places for people to sit. That's one of the things that we as the library offers. We're just a community space. If you want to get on our Wi-Fi, all you need to do is come to the library. You don't need to buy a cup of coffee. There's nothing required here. Everyone is welcome at the library, and that's one of the things that with expansion they were really able to offer, that to offer seating, to offer a study room, to be able to have a dedicated space just for teens. That's we call it the zone, and it is a space just for teens to be able to hang out and sit. They have their own computers, they have their own collection. It's just an area just for them to be able to feel safe and comfortable at the library.
We'll talk more about the newer wing here in a second, but obviously when you drive past the Charleston Carnegie Public Library, if you're driving down the one-way south, which is 6th Street in Charleston, you still see the facade, I guess I'll use that word, the outside physical exterior of the original library that I remember as a kid. So what is in the older parts on the inside? Because I've only been inside the newer wing in recent years. Oh
yeah, so the original building, just over there, the basement of the original building that used to house genealogy, is now our craft room and story time room. And that is a really great room. It also houses our giant puzzle. It's over 40,000 pieces.
Wow.
It's 22 feet long, 6.5 feet tall. It was a community art project. It took our community 18 months to put it together.
Okay.
And it's hanging there. So that's the basement. The area that used to be the kids' space is now genealogy and local history. And we have a really great partnership with the Coles County Genealogical Society. They help us maintain it. And that we have people coming in from all over the country doing genealogy research.
Right.
It is a large section that gets used all the time. The original building itself, the core building, we call the reading room. And it is a quiet space. It is a quiet study area. We have a lot of comfortable seating over there. We have some tables people can sit down on and use to study or do work or just hang out. And when they built this building, they redid the original and restored it. And it is, I encourage everybody to come look. It is gorgeous in there.
Fantastic. We'll have video throughout this episode to see the new and old parts and what the old parts look like now as well. So let's highlight some of the programs in our last few minutes. Chris, obviously we're in the children's area, and pretty much every library around the area in every direction has some kind of story time.
Absolutely. Story time, I feel like, is the banner of any public library. So we have preschool story time. We're on a bit of a hiatus right now, but it's always on Mondays at 10:30. But then we also offer story time is geared more towards 3 to 6, 3 to 7. We're never going to say no to any kid that wants to come to story time.
Correct.
But then we also offer a story time we call Books and Babies, and that's really for 0 to 3-year-olds. Yes. And Books and Babies is so much fun. Being able to see all these little kids come in and be able to play games and sing songs and dance to the music. It's a really great time. So those are our two really banner programs. And speaking of kids, our other banner kid reading program is 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten.
Wow.
Being able to get a young reader 1,000 books before they end kindergarten really elevates what they're going to be able to do in school. It helps with their reading, it helps with their math. And this ours has been running for about 10 years now, and our kids have read over 81,000 books. As pre-K kids have read that many in these 10 years, and that's amazing to see. We have a handprint in our 1,000-book forest for every 100 books read by those kids. So there are a lot of handprints in our forest right now.
I love the number. I've loved numbers. So dropping the number 81,000. That's trying to imagine that unbelievable. So we just talked about programs offered for children. You talked about the old parts of the library now, genealogy. A study for adults. What are some things offered for adults here at the library?
So we try and do a variety of things. We like to show movies. So for a lot of our seniors, but we also do that for kids as well. We have a lot of author programs. We're actually a member of a group called Illinois Libraries Present, in which they do online author events every month, and it's just free for our community to register. We're really happy to have that. But then we always look for unique things. We love going out of the building. We love doing tours. We do a regular bird walks out at Lake Charleston to do some bird viewing. We love touring EIU. We always do that during the summer when the weather's nice.
Yes.
And one of the really exciting things that we have coming up here in April is our annual fundraiser for adults. It's 21 or over. It's Literature and Libations, which Saturday night we're going to reopen the library. We'll have live music. We'll have a bar set up, and people can come in, enjoy some music, have a drink, and tour the library. Sounds like an event for sure there in April here at the Charleston Carnegie Public Library. Chris, in our final minute or so, seems like a very Homer question, but I feel like I need to ask it to you. What is the role of the library to Charleston? So this is something I have a bit of a spiel that I always use.
Let's hear it.
When I ask, I speak to Eastern students every once in a while, and I ask them if you could describe the library in one word, what would that word be? What would your word be if you had one word to describe a public library?
Well, the young me would probably say peaceful, like as far as how I feel, but I would say comfortable.
Comfortable. That's fantastic. I love to hear that. But a lot of times we get answers like, we're a library. People will say books. Yeah. People will say computers or a space or a meeting room or story time, reading. If you take all of that, from our collection to our services to our programs to our space, I boil public libraries to one word: help. We're here to help our community, and through that, through physical collections, through services, through programs, through just a physical space where people can be, we are always here to help our community. And that's why we're always looking for partner organizations to work with, to find new ways that we can aid our community. That's what we're here for. That's what a public library does. Serving the community, a very worthy thing. Glad to be taping here at the Charleston Carnegie Public Library for the first time here on City Spotlight, and we thank the time of the director of the Charleston Carnegie Public Library, Chris Houchens. Chris, thank you so much for the time. We look forward to coming back. Thank you. Anytime. Excellent. And that'll wrap it up for our latest City Spotlight episode on Charleston. We've been on location. Thanks for watching. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com.